Probably not. There is some nuance to it. Arcane founder Rafael Colantonio thinks otherwise. Welcome to Beyond Plug and Play. My name's Logic Motion. We have some gaming news. It's June 7th. Let's get into it. All right, let's get right into what Rafael says. But he says, why is no one talking about the elephant in the room? Cough, cough, Game Pass. I think Game Pass is an unsustainable model that has been increasingly damaging the industry for a decade, subsidized by Microsoft's infinite money, but at some point reality has to hit. I don't think Game Pass can coexist with other models. They'll either kill everyone else or give up. All right, and I want to break down what Rafael says about Game Pass, but I want to do it out of the lens just like of your average Joe, your casual gamer, right? Just because it's such a low entry point for Game Pass. I mean, like, if you want to get the standard plan, it's $14.99 and you unlock hundreds of games, right? So nobody is probably going to buy like hundreds and hundreds of games or can afford to buy hundreds and hundreds of games. And so Game Pass really just opens up that avenue, right? For just somebody that either they just bought their console or they just want to have access to multiple or hundreds of games, right? And then even then, like, you could take it a step further. Like, you're gonna, not only are you gonna have like hundreds of games and Game Pass or whatever on your console, but you can move that over to what? Your TV, your phone for the cloud gaming if you're into that, right? So it just it opens up all these avenues for just like your average Joe like gamer. You have the option as well to just play this on multiple like consoles, right? So like if you have like Xbox anywhere, right? So if you have Xbox app on your TV or you have it on your phone or whatever, you can do the cloud gaming stuff. And even when eventually the Xbox ROG comes out, like all that is gonna come together, right? At its current form, it's very useful just to your average day gamer, parent paying for Game Pass for their kid. Like it's very lucrative. Almost too good to be true. Now, when we take a look at Game Pass long term, it doesn't seem nearly as lucrative for the devs or the publishers, right? And I'm not talking like Microsoft. For Microsoft, I'm sure it's great. I'm sure they're loving it, right? But just like, if I'm able to play your game on Game Pass, I'm sure there are people that have done it, but I feel like on a case by case, like if you were to look at it overall, if I'm able to play your game off Game Pass, I'm probably not going to come back to it and pay full price, right? Like, I'm not going to play Doom day one, right? Doom Dark Ages day one for $20 on Game Pass and then be like, oh, now I'm going to buy it for $70. I'm sure there are edge cases out there, but I just can't see the majority of people doing that, especially, nowadays where like games are so expensive, $70, right? It's a lot. I could see someone coming back like when the game's on sale, like it goes on sale by like 50% or something. Then I could see somebody like, oh yeah, I'll pick it up. I had it on Game Pass. It was pretty fun. But for the most part, I don't see how this really drives sales. Now, it might drive sales for Game Pass, which I'm sure that's the end goal for Microsoft, right? But for the actual publisher, I don't think so. And that's why you have Rafael, the founder of Arcane, saying like he's talking about the elephant in the room, like Game Pass isn't as great as you think it is, especially for us, right? I'm sure Microsoft is loving it, and Microsoft might not even be loving it because right now it might just be a way to just kind of pull people in. But because what he's hinting at in this whole thread is that this isn't sustainable. So like the money train eventually is going to leave, right? It's going to leave, and Game Pass it's going to get more expensive and they won't be able to keep this up, right? So that's why he had in quotations infinite money. It's Microsoft, right? And you're seeing it now with like all these crazy layoffs, right? It's not sustainable. And just one more thing, right? So there are going to be some breakaway titles from Game Pass that do benefit from the exposure, and people obviously they didn't want to try the game, right? They didn't want to buy the game or whatever. So they're like, oh shit, this is on Game Pass. What is this? This is cool, right? So you will have titles like that get exposure through Game Pass, which is good. But I feel like those instances are so far and few in between, right? That's not going to be every game. Not every game is going to have that, basically that opportunity, right? I know one game that happened to was Cult of the Lamb. That game became wildly popular and it got a lot of people playing it through Game Pass, got a lot of people buying it on Steam, whatever. And just a lot of people came together from that game. I feel like Game Pass did that game a huge favor in terms of exposure. Obviously it did its own thing, but yeah, I feel like that game, that's like one of the few games that just like really rose up. Well, let me know what you think about what the Arkane founder has said about Game Pass. Do you think there's some truth to it? Do you think there's some merit to it? Do you think he's just being whatever? He's just hating on Game Pass? Let me know down below. Give the video a thumbs up, give the video a thumbs down if you hated it. Just let me know. Let me get some feedback. Anyway, my name's Logic Motion. Thank you for watching Beyond Plug and Play. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe. Watch the video. Subscribe. Take care.